Hi guys, this is Ranjit, and in this video we'll have a look at the Samsung Galaxy S23, and I've been actually using this one for the last 5 days, though it's not an in-depth review, but I think so I have got all the major points that many of you were asking about this device. So let's talk about that one. And I would say this is an ideal smartphone, I would say a flagship for people who are looking for a compact flagship. In India generally we don't get very good compact flagship, and if we get even compact flagship, the battery life is not that good. But this actually changes, and in fact I have thoroughly enjoyed using this phone for a change for the last 5 days. Let me quickly show you what comes inside the box. We get the smartphone itself, and we also get a charging cable and a SIM ejector tool. Again, it's not a big screen, it's having just a 6.1 inch screen, and because of that it just fits easily in the hand, and you don't have to do hand gymnastics. You can easily use the phone with a single hand, and I really appreciate that. Also, coming to this device, just like its elder brother, that's the S23 Ultra, this device is also made by sustainable materials. This is a review unit, and I got that info in this. Again, even the colors that this is the cream color, is actually the dyes are made by natural materials, and they're using a lot of recycled parts and etc. The box etc. is also recycled. Coming to the colors, again, this is a personal preference. This is the new cream color. Again, this is also available in this green color and all this thing, but personally I feel this cream one looks very elegant. So if you are looking for this device, do check out this color. Okay, I'm digressing. Coming back to the specs, again, this is a flagship smartphone, and here are all the specs. As you can see, it has all the bells and whistles that you expect, having the cutting edge processor, that's the Snapdragon 8 Gen 2. Again, storage, again guys, the thing is that the base storage, if you go, that's with 128 gigabytes, will have UFS 3.1, but if you're opting for 256 gigabyte variant, you will get UFS 4 storage on this one. Okay, another good thing I liked is that this one is having Gorilla Glass Victus 2 both on the back as well as on the front. This is the strongest glass that we have in the market as of now. Also, the build quality is really solid, though it's a compact phone. This is that armor aluminum, and again, I like the in-hand feel. It's slightly curved here, so it's very easy to hold in the hand. Also, coming to the fingerprint scanner, it's an in-display fingerprint scanner, but guys, this is not a regular just ordinary optical. This is actually a ultrasonic fingerprint scanner, which is a lot more reliable, I would say. Again, as you can see, nothing is lighting up, then also it works. So the fingerprint performance was very good. Now moving to one thing that I really loved on this one, and many of you were asking me about this one: what is the battery life? Because generally the battery life on these compact flagships is simply not that good, and it simply does not last the full working day. But that's not the case with this one. That's the reason I'm loving using this smartphone. Though it's compact, it lasts for over a day actually. I'll actually show you some of the stats. But compared to the S22 had a 3700 milliamp hour battery. This has a 3900 milliamp hour battery, and you'll say just 200 milliamp per year more. But because of this new Snapdragon 8 Gen 2 processor, and even the new LTPO screen, the battery life that I'm getting on this one is just amazing. Let me actually show you, and I've used it in the last 5 days in various scenarios. Once I would say 80% on Wi-Fi, and the next couple of days only on mobile data, and only at night, at let's say when I was for typical user, he comes back at home at 9:30 in the evening, was switching on Wi-Fi. So let me actually show you the stats. This was with actually Wi-Fi, guys. Let me just zoom in. This was on 80% on Wi-Fi and only 20% on mobile data. In fact, I had run a poll a couple of weeks earlier, and I was surprised to see that most of you guys actually are using your devices mostly on Wi-Fi compared to mobile data. So this is 80% on Wi-Fi and just 20% on mobile data, and it was off the charger for 2 days 5 hours, guys. And then also look at the screen on time. We got 8 hours 1 minute of screen on time on this one. So the battery life is just bonkers if you're using it on, this is on Wi-Fi. What about mobile data? Okay, this was actually, guys, just on mobile data throughout the day. I was out the entire day. Actually, my dad was in hospital, so I was going there up and down, and you'll notice that just one day, that is full 24 hours of the battery, and you'll just say that 3 hours 29 minutes is the screen on time. You'll say this is not that great, but guys, as I've told you, I was out, and I had to actually work also in the hospital, so I was using this one as a mobile hotspot for 2.5 hours. In fact, I have saved that screenshot. As you can see, I consumed almost about 9 gigabytes, and I was actually for that hotspot I was using 7.51 gigabyte, and I used this mobile for over 2 hours as a hotspot. Then also I got that SOT. That means the battery life is really, really good. Next day I did my typical usage. I didn't try to use it like a hotspot, but a regular use. Again, this is the yesterday's battery life. Again, over one day, 1 hour, that is about 25 hours of the charger, and it still had actually 17% battery left. So again, I could have gone more. And screen on time, 5 hours 35 minutes. So easily it would have crossed 6.5. So easily in terms of screen on time and actual full day usage, even on mobile data. And guys, I was using it mostly on 5G, the hospital where it was, I was getting good 5G connection. I'll show you the 5G speeds also. So battery life is something that actually astonished me on this one, because let's get it frank, the earlier compact flagships simply didn't get good battery life. This one can last easily for a full typical working day, and for most users who have a mix of Wi-Fi and mobile data, you can get almost about 1.5 days worth of battery life. So that was the biggest surprise personally for me. Again, this has stereo speakers, all the bells and whistles as you expect, reverse wireless charging and all these things are there. But I was surprised with the stereo speakers performance. And guys, if you're getting this device, just enable this Dolby Atmos on this one. And I have to say, for such a small compact smartphone, the speakers actually surprised me. I was not expecting that. So that way, I would say the speakers are also tuned very well on this smartphone. Genuinely actually surprised. Because of the Snapdragon 8 Gen 2, again, as you know, the Galaxy S23 series is using a special version. This is specifically made by Qualcomm. It's slightly overclocked compared to the normal Snapdragon 8 Gen 2. That's why it says for Galaxy. And again, the performance is brilliant on this smartphone. Also coming to RAM management, I did not have any problem. This comes with 8 gigabytes of RAM, and I have to say I did not have any issues with the RAM management on this phone. Apps of what you want in memory stay in memory, and again, all the notifications, etc., Truecaller, MyGate, everything actually worked without any issues. So in terms of RAM management also, I did not have an issue. And again, you know the performance of the Snapdragon 8 Gen 2. It's a gem of a processor, and everything actually just flies. And guys, this is the base variant I'm using. That is the 128 gigabyte variant with the UFS 3.1 storage. And then also I didn't have any lag whatsoever on this smartphone. So that way, in terms of performance, again, Samsung has tuned this smartphone very well. And again, I think so the partnership with Qualcomm is working out very well. Another thing I noticed is that at night, again, this is relates to the battery life, the idle drain is very, very less on this phone, hardly just about 2%. So that way, it's optimized very, very well. Okay, moving to the next thing is, again, this is also the cameras. The cameras are actually good on this one. The main camera is a 50 megapixel, and this has OIS. Then we have a 10 megapixel camera. This is actually a 3x zoom camera. This also actually has optical image stabilization. And then we have a 12 megapixel ultra wide. The front facing camera again is a punch hole. This is also 12 megapixel. And here are some of the sample shots that I have taken with this device. And as you can see, again, the camera performance is also very, very good. The primary sensor does a very, very good job. And I like this telephoto. In the portrait mode, default, the telephoto is used, that is 3x. And I appreciate this 3x zoom. I would say this is the perfect focal length. Even if you're using going to a photo shoot or whatever, generally they use 85mm for portraits, and this 3x is very close to that. That's the reason, as you can see, these portraits actually came out very, very good. Again, you can obviously go back to the 1x and also shoot portraits. So in terms of camera, also when it was low light, as you can see, these are some of the samples taken in low lighting conditions. Here also the camera performed very, very well. And moving to the 12 megapixel camera, the 12 megapixel selfies that came out also were very, very good. In fact, in terms of video also, the front facing camera is doing a good job. Guys, recording this video with the front facing camera of the Samsung Galaxy S23, and I'm recording it at 4K 60 FPS, and as you can see, I'm walking around. To give you an idea how is the stabilization, I'm actually now walking from the stairs, as you can see, and over here. So looks like, at least here in the preview, the video looks fine. What do you feel about the same? Tested this one Airtel 5G and Jio 5G, and I did not have any issues. I got 5G signal with both the SIMs. In fact, right now my Airtel primary is still on this one, and if I go to the results, as you can see, the 5G, as you can see, most of these tests were done with Airtel 5G, and as you can see, I was getting very, very good results. Also, coming to Wi-Fi performance, again, as you can see, 761 down and 912 upload. Again, on Wi-Fi also, it's having Wi-Fi 6E. The Wi-Fi performance is also very good. I don't have a Wi-Fi 6E router, a regular Wi-Fi 6 router. Again, it could maximize my throughput. I have a gigabit connection. So in terms of network connectivity, and again, notice the 5G also, I got 850 megabit also. One of the best that I've seen with Airtel actually. So again, rock solid in terms of network connectivity. And also, I don't know about you, I am still traditional. I take a lot of voice calls just like this, and I have to say the earpiece quality is very, very good, and I did not have any issues with the proximity sensor or anything. So even if you take long calls, you'll be very, very happy with this one. And I like the fact that because it's a compact smartphone, also it does not weigh that heavy. So if generally sometimes if you're doing those long calls, it's actually easy in your hands. So to be frank, I'm loving this compact form factor of this one. And generally with the compact flagships, battery life was generally a major issue, and with this S23, Samsung has really solved that. So overall, I would say if you always wanted a compact flagships but were worried because of the battery life and the performance, I think so this S23 actually solves that. And that's the reason I would say this has to be one of the best compact flagships as of now. This is a review on it. Samsung had also sent me a link. I'll add that in the description, and I was checking that as of now, if you're buying this smartphone, the default base storage comes with 128 gigabytes, but if you buy it right now, they're bumping the storage to 256 gigabytes instead of 128 gigabytes. And also, if you use some specific credit card offers and stuff like that, you can get 8,000 rupees off, and also you can get a watch or what with the bundles and stuff. So what I'll do is I'll leave that link in the description so that you can check it out. So again, guys, what do you feel about this Samsung Galaxy S23? Do let me know what do you feel about this one. And certainly I would say Samsung has done a great job, and if you are a person who always likes the compact smartphones, you can certainly consider this one. Anyways guys, that's it for now. Thanks for watching. This is Ranjit, and I hope to see you in my next video. Take care guys.